Hey everybody, what is up? It is Angela here for this week's video. This week I decided to do another tag, and I decided to do my first time tag because just like the throwback tag, it allows you guys to get to know a little bit more about me. So here we go. My first pet. My very first pet was a golden retriever, a cute little doggy, and his name was Rusty. But unfortunately, he passed away when I was in kindergarten, so I didn't get to know him that long. But Rusty was my first pet, and I loved him very much. My first best friend. My first best friend I met in first grade, and her name is Rocky. She is so funny. She always knows how to make me feel better, and she tells the most amazing stories. The next part of that question is, do we still talk? And yes, Rocky and I still talk frequently. We text and sometimes we call, and we get together a few times a year still, even though we don't live in the same state anymore. And yeah, I just really love her. My first fear. My first fear is probably a tie between bugs and the dark. But seriously, I was terrified of bugs, and actually I kind of still am. It doesn't matter what kind of bug, if it just crawls, if it flies, if it bites, if it stings, I do not like bugs one single bit, and it was also one of my very first ever fears, imagine that. Next is my first job. My first job was a few summers ago when I bussed tables at a golf course's dining hall. It wasn't exactly the job I would want to stick with for the rest of my life, but it was a typical summer job, and I got some spending money out of it, so it was all good. My first cell phone. I got my first cell phone my first year of high school, like 6 years ago, and it was a slider. Don't lie to me. I know that at some point in your life, you too have owned a slider phone. And next is my first boyfriend. I have only had one serious boyfriend in my entire life, and I did not start dating him until my last year of high school a few years ago. I will not say his name, he shall remain nameless, but he was a great first boyfriend, even though we ended up getting back together and breaking up 2 different times. Still, he was a great boyfriend. He taught me a lot about relationships since he was my very first serious boyfriend, and I'm still, thankful to have him in my life, so everything worked out. My first kiss. Okay, so actually my first serious boyfriend was not my first kiss. Technically, if we're thinking back to the first kiss I can remember, it was in kindergarten. I had a huge crush on this guy named Graham when I was in kindergarten, and he crushed on me back, and we were boyfriend-girlfriend in kindergarten. I don't remember mine and Graham's very first kiss because, truth be told, we kissed a lot. But anyways, moving on. My first love. Now, if we're talking about people, obviously, my first boyfriend I mentioned earlier was also my first love. But now if we're talking about just something in general that was my first love, obviously that's music. I mean, hello. I can be in a relationship with food and my refrigerator. That's good enough for me. Thumbs up if it's also good enough for you. The first person I subscribed to on YouTube. Well, One Direction, obviously. Duh. My first alcoholic drink. Ooh. Yes, I am well aware. I am not 21 yet, although I will be on the 16th. Woo! But my first alcoholic drink was at my house, so it's not like I snuck a drink out in a bar. Please, that's so not me. On Christmas Eve, and my sister brought white wine spritzers. And if you don't know what's in that, basically what my sister put in it, it was 1 part white wine and another part of it was Sprite or 7-Up, one of those two. And that was my very first alcoholic drink I've ever had. My first big purchase was my laptop that I'm using to film this video. With the money that I earned from my very first job bussing tables at that golf course, I was able to save up for my very first laptop. So yes, that was my first big purchase, and I earned all of the money by myself, and honestly, it felt really, really good. Okay, moving right along. My first concert. My first concert was either in 4th or 5th grade, and I went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin's Summerfest. And I went to the concert that was happening there one of the nights, and it was a concert with 2 country artists, Big and Rich and Tim McGraw. It was so loud, and I was like, wow, I didn't know concerts were this loud, oh my god. And last but not least, what is the first thing I do when I get home? The first thing I do when I get home, for sure, is eat. I love food. And when I've been home from not being out to eat with people, I am very hungry. So immediately, as soon as my shoes are off and I put my stuff down, I go to the fridge. What can I say? I'm a foodie. Alright, well, that is about it for this video, you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and comment below if you have any future video suggestions for me, or if you would like me to possibly do a part 2 to this video. That is about it, you guys. So until next Tuesday, I'll catch you later.